Yeah, that was a chat, this morning leading into the batting day. Taking a few chapters back from our previous innings as we played here, we said that, obviously 450 looks an extremely long way away. But if we can just have one or two good partnerships and get to tee, session by session, it will get smaller. And that partnership was the one that certainly myself and Rassie could feel like it was starting to get to the breaking point. Us versus them, that partnership going longer and then possibly putting us in a position of, possibly winning the game. Unlucky to get one to roll, and then obviously that momentum got back onto their side, and then they just ran with it. But that was the kind of fight and good clear game plans and solid techniques that is required for our batting unit to be more successful, and we've shown little glimpses of that in this series, but we've also showed that we're a little bit off where we need to be. Rassie would be a good example of what's been achieved. Working behind the scenes with Jar Cullis leading up to this test match, find that there was a little technical thing that he can work on and spend some time on that in the build up to this week. And it paid off, which is good. That's exactly what this batting lineup needs. It needs guidance, and then through that, hopefully, we'll start scoring the runs again. From a bowling point of view, I thought we competed through this series. It's a tough ask to ask, new guys making their debut to compete against bowling units that have got 500 and 400 test wickets in their pocket. So, yeah, I think if we're truly honest with ourselves, we probably let ourselves down in the batting department. We didn't put on that first inning totals to bowl to. Any team that bowls to big scores is a different bowling unit. So that was the difference for me in the two teams.
It's been a huge effort. It's been a huge effort by the players. It's been a huge effort by the support staff and the management. And we have had to dig deep collectively. But a big part of our team and the three teams is our three pillars, if you like, courage, respect and unity, and I think we've shown them in abundance throughout this trip, and it's really made a massive difference in our performances on the field. It could have been very easy for us to just completely go off the rails after that first game, but we stuck very tight together. Even going into that game, the next game, losing Burnsy and then Jimmy, we made sure that it wasn't going to affect how we were going to go about things as a group, and it gave opportunities some young lads to really take their chance, and really proud of everyone for being able to deliver that.
It's obviously a fact of not being as mentally sharp as you should be, because you rightly say that there was on a few occasions where someone would bowl a loose ball and they'll get a wicket early in the morning session, and that starts it almost starts the trend of the day. I did say for us to try and turn this momentum around in this test match, this last one, we needed to start well to try and stop that momentum that England has got over the last two test matches, and we didn't do that. We rocked up on the first morning where we bowled the wrong lengths, and they got off to a start of 100, I think it was 100 for naught at lunch, and then sat down at lunch and made sure that there was real clarity with the bowlers in terms of the plans, and we came back and we bowled better, and we got 4 or 5 wickets that session. And that is unfortunately where with bat and with ball we're still lacking a bit of experience, and it will take time for us to get to guys where they can land the ball exactly where you want them to land the ball over a period of time.
It's very pleasing, obviously, as I say, for us to come back in the fashion that we have, and we've put things in place at the start of this winter and made it very clear to the group how we want to play, and it has taken a bit of time, and it will still continue to take time for us to stay consistent and to keep getting better and adapting to different conditions. But we are learning very quickly, and young guys are coming in to a very good environment and succeeding, and that's really pleasing to see the mixture of that, the senior players providing that environment and also delivering as well, which is great. It really is, and Guys like Woody as well, coming back from injury, going through that hardship and then really delivering. Testament to the attitude of everyone that's been involved. I didn't need any persuading. When he's on and he's firing, of course there's back of your mind you're worried about overloading him and potentially an injury scare, but when he's got that look in his eye like he had today, it was an easy decision to make.
Yeah, I hope so. You mentioned up to 3 in a row to Joe. I think 3 in a row for me might be a bit of a stretch, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But if there was a test next week, I don't know what the sort of chat would be, but I'm glad that I stuck my hand up this game and provided a man-of-the-match performance, and I'm delighted that I could affect the game for England. It's held up great, and I'm delighted with it. And obviously the last 2 games, especially we're not playing for 7 months and then backing up 2 games, is a huge plus for me. There was a little bit of doubt going in before the game whether I was too sore and stuff, but over the moon that the management made that decision and routine for us now, because it's turned out to be a bit of genius.
Yeah, look, I think we obviously had probably a start of a new generation, so to speak. It's a pretty young team, a pretty new team, so I think you have to allow people to settle into positions as well. I think we South Africans, we're pretty quick to criticise, but I think there's a lot of young guys, a lot of new faces in that team, and you've got to allow them a bit of time to settle in, and I suppose only then will the wheels start turning, with regards to performances, etc. But like I said, I think England came here and they played pretty good cricket. We had a fairy tale start at Centurion, but the way they managed to turn it around was pretty special. Well, I haven't really given it some thought, but I'd like to be still a part of it. I'd like to, probably in a mentorship role, to make sure that we keep the younger guys that's coming through the system, make sure that they're up to scratch, when they obviously eventually do take over and do make that step up into the national side. So I think, that's a role that I'd like to see myself playing. How are we going to do it? I still need to go sit, with the higher powers and see how we can obviously accommodate it. I'd like to be remembered. Someone has always given it my all. I think, that's all you could ask for. I mean, I've left it all out there. No regrets. So, yeah.